This lineup is so fire. Please, 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 when does it get better for Taurus placements? Wow. What a week. And it's only like Wednesday. Hi. Hello. Welcome back to my witch obsession. And in today's pick a card reading, we will be asking the question, how will your future partner slash spouse describe you to their friends? And this was actually a reading topic that was inspired by this was the question that somebody actually asked me through a personal reading, and I really liked the topic, and I asked them like, hey, can I use that for one of my videos? I asked them today if I could use their name, but they haven't responded yet because I took forever to reply. So their name starts with a C, that's all I can say. But if they end up saying yeah, like, I'll just say thank you, blank in the description box. But yeah, so we have 4 piles here today. We have pile 1 with the Lua Tarot, pile 2 with the Synesthesia Tarot, pile 3 with the Golden Thread Tarot, and pile 4 with the Gothmancy Tarot. So as always, if you are new here, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the vibes. And also, if you would like a personal reading, I'm sure you already know by now, but I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked in the description box below, just because I get asked about it here and there. But yeah, timestamps are in the description box. I always forget to say that, but they're there. But yeah, if you've already chosen your pile, then proceed to your reading. See you there. Hope you enjoy. But if you'd like to sit and listen to me ramble for an extra minute or 2 or 3, then hi. Oh my gosh, you guys. Literally, I didn't know if I was gonna film today or not. I'm probably gonna film half of the video today and then the other half on Thursday, because I like to film earlier, because filming an entire video in one day is kind of rough, but nothing I can't do, but just to make the load easier. But I feel like today's ramble is going to be super long. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys don't mind. But I'm just like, I woke up in a weird mood this morning. Honestly, I was feeling kind of anxious and really sad, probably because I laid in bed for too long, and when I do that, I just get anxious and sad. When I hop out of bed, immediately my day is just like normal, but when I don't, I get really upset. But I was thinking a lot today, and I wrote in my journal. Oh, by the way, guys, I got this pen yesterday, and it's so cute. Look at it. It's like this fluffy pen, and if you know this movie called Gone Girl, it reminded me of Amy's pen, and the pink one, I was so obsessed I had to get it. But yeah, I like took myself out yesterday, like on a date, whatever. And I hit a few malls in Orange County, and I hit 2 malls in Orange County, and I hit an outlet or outside mall in Irvine. And then I mainly went over there because I wanted to hit a Korean market to make Korean food. But, I feel like a combination of yesterday and this morning, it put a lot into perspective for me, because I feel like so much has changed. Well, yeah, so much has changed, but I don't know, like, I woke up this morning and I started journaling because I keep a diary, because if I don't, I will go insane. And then I also scrapbooked a little bit. I haven't scrapbooked in a while, but, I rode a Ferris wheel yesterday, and I had a ticket, and I was like, oh, I'll put this in my scrapbook. But when I opened my scrapbook, I saw a few pages from when I stayed with my ex, and it was just, I don't know how to explain the feeling, but let's just say I was sad. But it was kind of I was grieving. I don't know how to explain it. I was grieving, but at the same time, I was really happy, because I was grieving because it made me realize how much has happened, and it made me realize there are a lot of good memories that I just can't believe are over and now, like, discontinued. But at the same time, I was like really happy because, it's like, it was nice to know I had good memories to take and that I can enjoy. Sorry, I'm like getting all emotional about it, but I feel like this is the reason I wanted to start filming today, is because I literally wanted to tell you guys about it all, because, like, I don't think you guys understand how attached I am to you and how happy you make me, because I feel like whether you realize it or not, like, you've really stuck with me through a lot of my journey through this mess. And, you know, like, to put this into perspective, my last reading, it was an older reading that I posted a few months ago. It was called What is Going On in This Connection? And that same day that I posted that was the day that I met up with my ex to get back with them. And it was, I don't know, like, I was also listening to this song, and it's called Raindrops by Goldlink featuring Flo Milli. It's a really good song, you guys. That song is so good. I don't care, y'all. Y'all should listen to it, but if you do listen to it, tell me how you feel about it. But, you know, that song really reminds me of last spring, and it's so, like, I don't know how to explain it, you guys. I'm just, like, I feel like I really am living in the past, and it's making it so difficult because I'm trying not to do that. That's why I started filming, because I was like, I want to talk about it to my best friends on YouTube. And I don't know, y'all, like, I feel a lot of different things right now. And obviously, like, I'm not, like, emotionally handicapped right now, or, like, I'm not, like, because I feel like doing readings while you're emotional is, like, a no-go, but, like, I feel like I got most of it out of my system, but it just, like, it's really nice to see that things really have gotten better, and that when I line up, at least, everything that's happened to me these past few months, it really did all work out, and it really did all happen according to a script that I have no clue about. Thanks, universe. I love being kept in the dark. But, you know, it's just, I feel really good right now because I know that the past is the past, and drawing that line feels so good because I feel like for a really long time that line was so blurry, and I was, like, on the fence about what's real and in the now versus what's not in the real and now. And so it was just like I felt emotionally prohibited from feeling what I wanted to feel, and from feeling the things that should be, you know, like, whatever it may be, you know, I don't know how to explain it. And it's just, for a while, I felt, like, bad for feeling at all. And, you know, it's just like, when you're put through a lot of these things, it's just, you feel like you have no right to feel the way that you feel unless there is something specifically that's causing it. Or, you know, I don't know. I feel like this is, like, true ramble. Like, I'm literally spitting as I go. And I think I'm gonna wrap up today's ramble by just saying that, looking back, I can't believe that I am where I am now, because I genuinely did not think I'd make it this far. I remember it was, like, January or, like, December, and I was like, girl, I'm literally not gonna make it to May. I don't know how I'm gonna make it to May. And I'm literally here in May. And I told my journal, I'm so grateful that it really did all work out, and that I'm really here, and that the fact that I'm still here is just all that I need to know, that everything truly is getting better, and that everything really will be okay. And in the event that it won't be, at least we're rid of the things that we know aren't good for us. So yeah. Yeah, it was kind of funny looking back at those pages too, because I remember I got, like, 2 parking tickets because, like, LA is, like, crazy, and if you, like, do anything, they'll, like, give you a ticket and, like, shove, like, a $48 fee down your throat. Wow, we love LA. Anyways, that's all I have for today's ramble. I literally told you it was gonna be super long. Oh my gosh, I think it was, like, 7 minutes. I'm sure you guys don't mind, but, you know, like, I don't know. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, see you at your reading. If you did listen to that whole ramble, thank you so much. Like I said, I love talking to you guys. I love when you guys respond to the rambles. I love when you guys are like, I love the rambles. They're like, you know, like, I'm like, oh my god, I love rambling. But yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you at your reading. I love you. Hello, pile one. If you chose the Lua Tarot, this is going to be your reading for how will your future spouse describe you to their friends, or like future partner, whatever you want to say. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of excited because I feel like this is like a very in-depth reading, or it's like there's a lot of room for interpretation. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, whew. I'm like really craving a popsicle right now. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, how will pile one's future partner describe them to their friends? How will pile one's future partner describe them to their friends? Okay, first few cards we have the Chariot. And we have the Eight of Wands. One more for now. And Evolution. I think this is Judgment, or maybe it's like a... Anyways. And then Knight of Coins. Yeah, I feel like with your future partner is really gonna talk about you in a way and describe you as a go-getter. That was like the first thing that came to mind, because with the Chariot and Eight of Wands, they'll describe you as somebody who really goes after the things that they want, and somebody who is very willing to change with the Evolution card. And also with the Knight of Coins, someone who's very... I feel like they're gonna think you're very funny, and I feel like they're gonna have this way of describing you where like they're impatient but patient at the same time. I'm getting this vibe of like you won't be able to, like, you just cannot stand waiting in a restaurant for food. Like you just can't do it. Like you, anything but that. But at the same time, you'll also like painstakingly invest all the time in the world in a project that you're completing in regards to like your career or just like a hobby. And I feel like this is something that they're going to notice and something that they're going to describe, and they're going to think it's really funny about you, or they'll be like, bro, like girl, like this, they're always impatient, but yet this is the person that's willing to go through like 8 years of school. You know what I'm saying? Like this person can't wait on a coffee at a shop, but at the same time, this is somebody that is working like 1,000,000 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they're gonna find it funny because short term, you're very impatient, but longevity wise, you are very patient and very tenacious. And there's a lot of Cancer energy here, so you or this person could be Cancer. I feel like you have a lot of Cancer in your chart, or like you have strong Cancer placements. Also, I'm sensing a lot of Earth, especially Taurus and Capricorn, maybe some Virgo, especially within like the Mars placement. But with the Eight of Wands, I feel like this person's also going to say that you're a very fast-paced person, and they're going to definitely describe you to their friends, and like pile one is just very quick. You know, pile one just gets things done very quickly. They'll describe you as somebody who doesn't really procrastinate, or somebody who really likes to get onto things as soon as possible. And because of that, I feel like they'll kind of describe you as impatient, or somebody who, you know, just likes to get things done quickly as possible. And with the Evolution card, I feel like they'll also be they'll feel like you're very hard on yourself. And I feel like at times you're going to be kind of bewildered at the fact that maybe sometimes you don't really see how much you're doing, or, you know, how good you look, or how much you are accomplishing, you know, or at times just how critical of yourself you can be, if that is the case. But I just feel like regardless of how you perceive yourself, this person, I feel like, is going to describe you as somebody who is a little bit harsh on themselves, or somebody who just has a lot of high standards and, you know, doesn't really let themselves falter. And I feel like maybe at times, like this person, or like your future partner, is going to be like, I feel like pile one, like they just can't rest sometimes, or they're never taking a break, you know? And also with the Knight of Coins, they're going to say that you're very good with your money, or just somebody who is very, very interesting with their finances. Because I feel like they'll notice that, like, it's once again like the patience thing. It's just in some moments you're like really impatient, but then like you'll do something else that is like way more painstaking and laborious, and you'll just like, weather through it or like endure it. And I feel like finances is gonna be like the same thing, because I feel like this person is gonna be like, oh my gosh, like pile one, they just every time we go out, they'll buy like $100 worth of things, yet somehow all of their bills are paid, and they're just not, you know what I mean? It's just the way you spend your money is gonna come off very impulsive and very like, oh my gosh, like what is pile one doing? But then on the other hand, they'll notice that like all your bills are paid for, and that you're actually very organized with your finances, or at least organized enough and competent enough for you to, get things done. They're gonna really admire this about you. It's gonna be something that maybe they're gonna be even a little bit envious of, because they're like, where is this coming from? Like, how do they do this, And I feel like they're gonna tease you a lot. I feel like they're gonna tease you in person a lot, and definitely something that maybe you won't like tolerate with the Eight of Wands here. I feel like with the Eight of Wands, they'll also describe you as somebody who like bites back, or somebody who is very quick on their feet. I feel like they'll be like, oh yeah, you don't say nothing to pile one, because they're not gonna just sit there and take it. And I feel like they're gonna figure this out the hard way. Perhaps with the Chariot card, since we have Cancer here, I feel like maybe one day, if they do like experience somebody coming at you sideways, or even them, they come at you sideways, I feel like they'll learn the hard way that you're not gonna just sit there and take it, or just sit there and be like, oh, like it's whatever. I feel like you are like going to say something, or like you will say something. You're gonna be like, first of all, you need to watch your tone, and second of all, that's not even right. And I just feel like they're gonna tell their friends a lot that you have a spine, and that you aren't a pushover, basically. And they're really gonna admire this about you, and this is definitely one of the things they're gonna really love about you, because I just think that this person won't like pushovers, or they don't like people that just agree with them for the sake of agreeing with them, I feel like they'll really like that you have your own opinions, and I feel like this is one of the things that they're going to talk about a lot, because I feel like as they get to know you, and as they get to understand you more, they're going to realize how sophisticated you are, and how many, opinions and how many feelings you have towards different things. And so like, as a result, I just feel like this person, it's just all of you that are watching this, you guys have completely different thoughts and opinions on different things from person to person. So I just want to say this person's really going to talk a lot about, your opinions, and like what I want to say another word besides opinions, perspectives. They're going to talk a lot about your perspectives and your views on different things to their friends. They'll be like, oh, like pile one really doesn't like, they really don't like flan. I don't know. That's just the first thing that came up. Or they really like this TV show, or their favorite episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog is this one, And, it's just, it'll be a lot of lighthearted banter like that. I feel like it's going to be one of those situations where they like can't stop talking about you, especially if the situation at hand, or the conversation that they are involved in, is soliciting them to talk about you. And so like, it'll just be, once they start and once they begin to talk about you, it really will be kind of a situation where they can't stop, or where they just keep going on and on about it, or they just keep, like mentioning you here and there, or like little things remind them of you, and they'll bring it up. Like they're out with their friends, and they'll be like, oh, there's a pier. Pile one really likes bodies of water, or they really like fishing, or they're really into the ocean, or they just really like piers because they think they're just nice, something like that, or oh, like pile one, they really like basil, they're at the store with their friends, and they see this basil, and they're like, wow, like pile one really loves basil. They really like Italian food, obviously it doesn't have to be those particular specific examples, but it's that kind of thing, where the littlest things probably will remind them of you, and they'll bring it up to whoever they're with. And also, I just feel like it'll definitely be something that they consistently do. I don't know. I feel like they do this with like everyone in their life, but I feel like for you, it'll be like obviously heightened. And it's just they'll probably be a very good conversationalist, or somebody who can really learn more about you, or somebody who clearly wants to get to know more about you. And they'll describe you as very smart too. And also with the Chariot card, I feel like they'll also notice that like you are very nomadic, or somebody who maybe moves around a lot. I feel like maybe pile one, like you guys maybe move houses a lot, or maybe you move homes a lot, or you know, maybe you're just always doing renovations to your home, or you're just constantly trying to improve your home, or you're just like, you know, really big on your home life. Just something about the home is probably significant to you, and because of that, I feel like this person is definitely going to notice that, and this is something that they're going to talk about. You could be a homebody, honestly, pile one, and if that's the case, they'll definitely, you know, whatever state that you are in, or whatever, you know, dynamic you are, whether you're a homebody or someone who likes to go out, I feel like this is also something that they're really going to talk about, because it's just, it'll be a dynamic that really complements them, and a dynamic that, you know, they appreciate about you, because I feel like you'll balance them out in that way, or you guys will just really get each other in those kind of ways, and that's something they'll probably really gush about, because they'll just love that you get it, you know. And also with the Eight of Wands, I feel like they'll love that you're just so like, not down, but you're ready, you know. I feel like they'll really love that they can probably hit you up and be like, hey, like, you want to go here, here, and here, like right now? You'll be like, yeah, sure, let me just get ready, you know. I feel like there's always a pile like this in readings like this in all of my videos, but like I just always had that one pile where it's just like this Libra energy, where they're just like, or like Sagittarius too, where they're like, oh, like, I just bought tickets to go to Venice and the flight is this week. Do you want to go with me? And they're like, yeah, let's go. I'm going to start packing right now, you know? I just feel like they'll love that about you. And I feel like, I don't think that you guys will have like too many bland moments together. I feel like you guys will have a lot of fun together. And the moments that you do share together are definitely going to be memories that they kind of talk about to their friends, you know? Like, oh my gosh, like, you know, the other day I went with pile one to here and we went to this restaurant. We, you know, I feel like a lot of the conversations that they have with their friends regarding you will definitely be experience related, or related to the things that you really like, because they'll really admire you, and they'll really like that you have your own, you know, views on things, and that you have your own taste, and that you aren't just a sponge that's taking in everything around them. And you know, even if you do something like that, it's just, you take a lot of inspiration, you know. They'll probably also see you as very creative in that sense, and that you're very eloquent, and that you're very good at, you know, digging deep within your own passions and things that you really like. And okay, I just had to cut it because there was like a delivery guy outside and he almost saw me because this window is just like open. But anyways, let's just pull more cards because I lost my train of thought. So we also have the Seven of Wands and Three of Coins. Yeah, I feel like the Seven of Wands, the first thing I thought about was how I mentioned that you are going to be someone that, you are just somebody that doesn't take things, you know? And I feel like with the Seven of Wands and Three of Coins, they're definitely going to talk to their friends about how collaborative you are, or just somebody who is very willing to converse and work with people. I feel like you're going to have a lot of charisma. If they're definitely going to want to introduce you to their friends, or they are going to say like, oh my gosh, like I feel like the description that I have of them is just like not doing them justice. You have to meet them in person to really get what I'm saying here, especially with the Three of Coins here. And I feel like they're going to notice that you're very good with people, or that you're very good with groups of people, even if you feel like you aren't, just because I feel like you're just good at standing your own in a group of people. And once again, like, you won't just absorb what everyone else is saying, you know, you have something to bring to the table, you know. And that's definitely something that they're going to really talk about, because they're just gonna love how you bring something to the table, you know what I'm saying, pile one? They're gonna love that you bring your own opinions, your own feelings, and your own hobbies, you know. There's gonna be a lot of enrichment with this union, and because of that, they're going to really talk about that, and it's gonna be something that, you know, they're really into. And it's just gonna be very interesting, because I feel like they're gonna it'll be hard for them to, I don't know how to explain it. It's just conversations between you and this person are going to be very rich and they're going to be very lengthy, and it's going to be like, like it's just, I don't know how to describe it. They won't be able to sum it all up. They're gonna have a hard time summarizing you as a person. It's not gonna be as simple as, oh, like pile one's like this, and they do this and this, and it won't be like that. All they can really do is kind of like mention bits and pieces of you, and I feel like they'll never truly have the opportunity to kind of just like, like summarize you or kind of wrap it all up into one thing to where it's like, oh, like, yeah, this is how they're like as a person in general. Because you just have so much in you. There's so much more to you than what they're describing about you, and this definitely further supports the idea that they want their friends to just meet you. And I feel like for some of you, if you do end up meeting their friends, I feel like obviously down the line, like, you do meet your partner's friends, I think that they're going to really like you. I think that with the Three of Coins, they're going to see you as somebody who's very easy to talk to, but also somebody who's not going to be walked all over. The Seven of Wands here, they're going to talk about how respected you are, or just somebody that is definitely like, their presence just demands respect. In the sense that, they're gonna be like, yeah, like, once again with the whole thing that earlier I was talking about, how somebody, they may witness you, whether by their own hands or somebody else's, like you blowing up or you being like, hey, like, I'm not gonna just sit here and take your BS. So I just feel like that's something they're gonna talk about, and how much they respect you, and how much like you better not mess with them. I feel like that's what they're gonna say, like something like that, like, you better not mess with pile one, or nobody better mess with pile one. And I just feel like you're also probably very stubborn, or you could be somebody who is very stubborn on things. I feel like this is something that they're going to be talking about. I feel like depending on their mood, they'll think it's annoying or they'll think it's hilarious. Because I just feel like with the Seven of Wands, it's just something that you're not going to budge on, especially with the Chariot card. I feel like they're going to talk about how, yeah, once they've made their mind up, they've made their mind up. There's little to no compromise. But I also feel like with the Three of Coins, before you make your mind up, you'll be very malleable with your opinions and how you want to move forward and what you want to see. So I feel like it'll be kind of like, in a way that's like, yeah, I feel like once they've made up their mind, they have made up their mind and they are very much set on it. But at the same time, I feel like they'll also talk about you as a little bit indecisive, or somebody who has trouble making up their mind. It's just that when you do make up your mind, it'll be like game over, that's a wrap, like, next episode, please. But yeah, it's definitely going to be something that they really talk about, because I feel like at times they'll, once again, this is very subjective, and it really depends on your individual interests and what you guys are passionate about. But for example, they'll be like, yeah, like, I was talking to them the other night about where to eat, and they were up in the air about it, but then I brought up blank, or that, but then I brought up Olive Garden, and they were like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good. And then I was kind of like, oh, but like, what if we got this or this, or like, are you sure you don't want this? And they were like, no, I want Olive Garden. We're going to Olive Garden. Let's go. I have my mindset. I'm not changing it. Either A, we go to Olive Garden, or B, we starve. And I just feel like because of that, they'll be a little bit more indecisive. I feel like your future partner is definitely going to be a little bit more indecisive than you are, or just a little bit more like, I don't know how to describe it in a way that will make them seem like a spineless people pleaser, but more so just somebody who, is more flexible, and somebody who is more willing to change their opinions, or, very quick to change their opinions on something. And I just feel like it's going to be very funny, because they're going to be like, yeah, like, they be making a lot of the decisions, or yeah, when they've made their mind up, I'm not going to just sit there and, argue with them about it. I do feel like, it's not going to be like, oh, like, pile one's calling all the shots, or, it's always about them, or it's not going to be like that. It's more so just going to be about the fact that once you really made your mind up, usually it's the best decision possible, because I feel like with the evolution card, they'll also notice that you have very good judgment. They're also going to think you're very smart. They're going to talk about you in a way that's like, yeah, pile one's really smart and they have brains. And yeah, I don't know, like, I just feel like they're going to see you as like a very like complicated person in like a good way. and that like you have a lot of depth to you, you know. Let's pull in some more cards. We also have the Magician. This is one of my favorite magicians, like out of any tarot deck. It's just so like, it's just so good. I don't know. It's just so nice. And we have 10 of Coins. Yeah, they're gonna feel like they find a lot of wholeness with you. And with the Chariot card and the 10 of Coins, they may even talk about like living with you, you know, whether it be a joke or not. Obviously, like apply this according to the timeline in which you deem is appropriate to live with someone that you've been with. But I just want to say, like, with the 10 of Coins and the Chariot card, I just feel like they're gonna feel this comfort and this stability with you. And this is definitely something that they're also gonna gush about. They're gonna be like, I just feel so comfortable around them, you know, they aren't like rude to me, they aren't, you know, I just love that they communicate with me. And they're gonna really love your mature outlook on things, and they're really gonna love how much knowledge you possess and how much you know, because I feel like, you know, it's just, you guys will really complement each other in the sense that they're going to feel like when they don't know something, you know it, and when you don't know something, they're going to know it. And this is kind of a dynamic that they're definitely going to discuss with people, because they're going to be like, wow, like pile one just, you know, the other day I was I was trying to get a refund at Old Navy, and I didn't know how to do that, but pile one used to work at Old Navy, and they told me about all the policies, you know. It's just gonna be one of those things, you know. And I don't know, obviously, once again, that's like a very like random example, but I feel like the random examples in this kind of reading are kind of fun, because, you know, like everyone watching this pile is like so different from one another. But enough of that. I just feel like it's going to be one of those things. There's going to be a lot of surprises about you, you know? They're going to be very surprised as you talk more and more to them, and as you reveal more and more of yourself to them. And with the Magician card, this once again definitely goes back to the whole go-getter thing. And they may also talk about how you're like a more spiritual person, or somebody who is more religious, or somebody, you know, who is more into things of that nature, you know, somebody who believes in something. And the reason I say that is because I feel like the Magician has like a high, like a lot of spiritual energy to it. I mean, obviously all tarot cards do, but like I just feel like the Magician is like no exception. And they'll probably notice that, you know, like you consume content that is related to like astrology or like tarot, or like, you know, anything of that nature, or that you'll have like kind of this confident attitude that things will work out for you just because, you know, like you believe it will, you know. And I feel like this person is definitely your future partner is going to be very bewildered by how you do things, especially in terms of how you manifest things, and in terms of how you kind of go about making things happen. Because I feel like they're going to feel like you kind of overcome like the craziest things, or that, you know, you kind of do the impossible at times, because I just feel like you're just so determined, and that you're just somebody with such a potent energy and manifestation capabilities, that when they actually see you make your manifestations and make the things that you want, you know, come into fruition, they're going to be very impressed by that. For some of you, this person may even tell their friends like, dude, like they like did this thing, they like burnt a bay leaf and they like made $5,000, or, you know, we did this affirmation thing and suddenly like we just made a bunch of money here there, you know, like something of that nature, you know, like kind of like a experience thing. And obviously that's like a very specific message. For some of you that might not apply, but I feel like for the majority of you, you guys are very powerful manifestors, or you guys are very stubborn in terms of getting what you want. And because of that, obviously, like, you don't settle. That's another thing. They're gonna realize that you do not settle. I feel like there will be times where you're like, oh, it's like whatever, you know. But I feel like there are things that you're very stubborn about, obviously, because, you know, we were talking about how you're stubborn. But I just feel like they're gonna be like, yeah, pile one, just like, I remember this one day they got this thing in the mail and they were like, oh my gosh, there's like a dent in this box, and that's just not how I do things. That's not how I wanted this package to be. Not like the actual like cardboard box that it came in, but, you know, like maybe you wanted to display whatever it is that you got in the box that it came in, and it was like all messed up. You're like, I'm not settling for this, I'm sending it back, you know. And I just feel like they're really going to talk about you in that sense, because they're going to really like your high standards, and they're going to feel very validated by them too. They're going to be like, I'm not gonna lie, for some of you they're gonna be like, yeah, Pile 1 has high AF standards and they still chose me, you know? And, you know, vice versa, obviously. It's not like they're gonna have low standards or anything, but I'm just saying that, like, you are definitely somebody who appreciates luxury and somebody who appreciates more finer things, and you're not gonna settle on a, you know, mediocrity. Is that the word? Mediocrity? Or, you know, just plain normal things. I feel like if you can, you will aim for extravagance. You will aim for a little bit more prestige and luxury and a little bit more in the accomplishment. Like, they're just going to really notice and talk about how you aren't afraid of putting in a little bit more work for a little bit more reward, you know? And they're going to really admire this about you because they're going to see you as very ambitious and somebody who, like I said, is a huge go-getter. Let's pull some more cards before let's pull 3 more cards before I wrap things up here. We have Ace of Wands. We all know what the Ace of Wands means. King of Cups. And Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, okay, first of all, guys, the Ace of Wands, they're gonna find you very physically attractive, if you know what I mean. I'm just throwing that out there. I just wanted to mention that, you know, for those of you that wanted to know. Just a thought. But, you know, I feel like with the King of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune too, they're gonna notice a lot of shifts in their life when they meet you. I feel like with the King of Cups, they're gonna feel like you unlock a very emotional side of them. It's not gonna be the cliche where they're like, I've never felt this way before. But more so, for some of you, it could literally be that. But I just think that in general, with the Ace of Wands, King of Cups, and Wheel of Fortune, it's gonna be a huge shift for them. And it's gonna be a lot of changes for them because they aren't used to wanting someone like this. You know, they haven't been, this person probably took a dating hiatus, or you took a dating hiatus, but just somebody in this situation here just was a little bit emotionally unavailable, or somebody was a little bit, you know, like distance in terms of romance, even if there were romantic interests or, you know, relationships. There's gonna be a lot of presence within this union, and this person's going to feel it, and they're going to talk to their friends about it. They're gonna be like, I don't know, y'all, like, I really feel something with Pile 1, or I feel like it's been a while since I felt this way about somebody, or, you know, like, I'm really attracted to them, I'm really into them, you know. And I feel like with the Eight of Wands, things will probably move very quickly between the two of you, and this is definitely something that they're going to talk about. And with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like they'll also notice that, like, karma is very big in this situation here. I feel like they're going to notice that you are somebody who is very karmic by nature, or somebody who, I feel like that emphasizes Capricorn, because I feel like Capricorn is like the most karmic sign, you know? They're definitely going to notice that, like, karma really serves you, or they're going to notice that karma is just significant here. And apply that however you wish. I feel like that is very subjective. I'm picking up a lot of karma here, and something about karma is very significant here. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this reading by saying that Pile 1, I feel like your future partner is really going to talk about you very highly, in the sense that, like, you are in fact a very ambitious, a very motivated go-getter, and somebody who isn't afraid to get what they want and isn't afraid to put in the hard work to get it what they want. But at the same time, there's going to be like this lighthearted humor about you, how on one hand you're like this serious, you know, like, you know, graceful, and you're willing to get whatever you want, you're a hard worker, but on the other hand, it's just like waiting for your Amazon order to come in. It literally drives you insane. Like, it's just gonna be very funny to them, because they'll be like, you know, like, Pile 1, they literally spent 5 hours sketching something, but then they also ordered something online and then immediately checked outside to look for it. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. And they'll also talk about how friendly you are and how collaborative you are, until you're not, until you're disrespected. I feel like, and with the Wheel of Fortune, that whole karma thing, they're going to notice that you really mirror people's energy, and they're going to talk about that. They're going to talk about how you really treat people the way that they treat you. This is going to be something that they really admire about you too. Just overall, they're going to talk about you in a way that's like, they're not going to be able to just sum you up. They're not going to be able to just kind of, like, oh, like this is them as a person, just overall, like, no, it won't be like that. They'll constantly be talking about you and bringing up new things and bits and pieces about you and kind of gushing over you, because it's just like you have so much depth and you have so much experiences and you have so much personality to you that it's just going to take so much more than like one sentence or like a few, like even paragraphs to just describe you. But they're going to see you as very tenacious and somebody who has a lot of experiences and a lot of opinions under their belt. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 1. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated, and if it did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, I link those in the description box below in my Etsy shop, or it is in my Etsy shop linked in the description box below. Oh my gosh. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 2. If you chose the Synesthesia Tarot, this is going to be your reading for what your future partner, or how your future partner will describe you to their friends. Sorry, that's like kind of a mouthful. But, oh my gosh, Pile 2. So, I filmed the intro in Pile 1 yesterday. Now it's Thursday. But I'm in like a Joker mode right now because, I don't know, like I woke up earlier and I was feeling kind of weird and I knew I needed to get out of bed early, and I literally did, and it just like improved my whole mood. I don't know. I'm just so excited. And there's this girl on TikTok, and she's always on my For You page, and she like does astrology. And today I was like, you know what? I'm gonna text her and be like, let's be friends. And then I was like, I'd love to be friends. And I was like, don't play with me right now. Anyways, what will how will Pile 2's future partner describe them to their friends? How will Pile 2's future partner describe them to their friends? Okay. We have the Tower. Sorry, this leaf is like in the way. Oh my gosh. It's like a cat that just doesn't move. I don't know. And we also have, two cards. Page of Cups and the Star. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Wands. With this ensemble so far, especially with the Tower card, it really does feel like you're gonna rock your future partner's world. Tower card, I know y'all know, the Tower card is so infamous. I swear, she's more famous than tarot itself. But, I just feel like your future partner, they'll feel like you came out of nowhere, and this is definitely something that they're going to talk to their friends about. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, Pile 2 came out of thin air. They came out of nowhere. They manifested. They conjured, and with the Page of Cups, I really do think that the emotions that they'll feel for you and, the feels that they, harbor for you will also seemingly come out of nowhere. I feel like with the Star card too, this will kind of, because I get Aquarius energy from this, so you could be an Aquarius, you could also be a water sign, and the Tower card is Mars, so Scorpio and Aries. But, whether or not you have those placements, what I'm trying to say here is I mentioned Aquarius because I feel like Aquarius is kind of like that friends to lovers trope. And not to say that that's how you and your future partner are going to meet, but rather I feel like the idea here is that you guys will, start with like a really good foundation. And I feel like this is something that they're going to talk to their friends about, because I feel like with the Page of Cups and what I just mentioned, it seems as if though this kind of dynamic will develop very suddenly, I feel like you guys will hit it off instantly. I feel like the emotions and like the romantic feelings will kind of take like a back burner, and it'll be something that kind of like grows between the two of you, like, just like passively. You guys don't really pay much attention to it. And I feel like your partner is going to describe this to their friends. I feel like your future partner, the first thing that they're going to really gush about and talk about very frequently is the fact that the feelings for you came out of nowhere, but also the instant chemistry that you guys had with each other right from the beginning. And it'll definitely be something that they really talk about like how you guys met, you know. I'm like, yeah, like we just met through blank, and you know, we were just talking and stuff, but then suddenly like I just started feeling some type of way, and then we just started getting, you know, like it'll just seem like that line where you guys start, you know, actually like feeling each other, and you guys start, you know, catching serious feelings and starting to steer more towards commitment and that nature. I feel like that line is going to be very hazy, and I feel like it'll be hard to tell when this person actually started catching feelings for you. And that's definitely something that they're going to talk about a lot to their friends. They'll be like, I feel like it's like I don't even know when I started catching feelings for them. I don't even know when this situation started escalating, you know. And also with the Queen of Wands, along with this Page of Cups, I feel like they'll also see you as like very creative. I think that your future partner is really going to talk about how creative you are and how many aspirations you have and how passionate you are about different things. I feel like they'll definitely feel your passion within the connection. That's something they'll also talk about. But with the Star card, it really seems as if though like one or both of you just have very unique passions and desires. I feel like both of you will. I feel like both of you will kind of have like a knack for the weird or for the occult or for anything that is out of the norm. And, you know, not like weird in a bad way, but, you know, just it's unconventional what you guys may be into. And I feel like that's definitely something that you guys will really bond over, because I feel like you guys will feel like, oh, like it's so hard to find people that are also into pet scorpions. I don't know. You know, it's something of that nature, you know. Just, I feel like both of you guys will really connect a lot over a niche or just a few niches or things that, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, wow, like you like that stuff too. Or like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that you watch those videos too. Or oh my gosh, you know, kind of something like that, you know, just something, this common interest that you guys will really bond over, and it'll just be something that your partner will not be able to get over, at least for a really long time. Because I feel like they've had a lot of trouble finding somebody that kind of resonates with the things that they like too. And so as a result, I feel like they're going to talk to their friends a lot and be like, oh my gosh, Pile 2, they really like sea otters like me. I haven't been able to meet someone that likes sea otters, you know. It's like, wow, this is crazy. I never thought I would meet someone, you know, something of that nature. And with the Queen of Wands, you have like this unapologeticness about you when it comes to things that you're interested in, or when it comes to your emotions. I feel like maybe there's a sense of grandeur with you, or a sense of like pride with you and your emotions, and not like bad pride, you know. I feel like nowadays like pride sometimes can have a negative connotation with it, but I just want to make it clear that that's not what I mean. What I mean here is I just feel like, you know, you have a way of carrying yourself, and you have a way of, you know, sticking up for the things that you like and sticking up for the people that you care about. And, you know, just being very honest about your interests, being honest about what you like, you know. And I feel like this definitely kind of translates to the whole friends to lovers trope that I keep talking about. And once again, not to say like that's how it's gonna be, but more so like that steady foundation that the relationship will be built on. But, you know, I just feel like you'll wear your heart on your sleeve, and this person, they'll feel like they won't have too much trouble reading you, or too much trouble, you know, like picking up on the hints that you may be dropping, and they'll really appreciate that about you, and they'll love how fluid the communication is with you. And that's definitely something that they're also really going to talk about, how it's so easy to notice that your heart is on your sleeve, or that, you know, you're not a liar, or that, you know, you're not playing games, or that you're not, you know, you're not being sneaky, you know. And that's definitely something that they're really going to love about you, and something that they're going to talk about all the time. And also, I feel like they'll get a lot of humor out of it, you know, because obviously like romantic feelings aren't the only things you're going to be expressing to this person. So I feel like with the Queen of Wands, you'll also have like a very, and also with the Star card, I feel like you have a very eclectic sense of humor, or like you're very intelligent, or, you know, you're very smart. So first of all, the conversations that you guys are going to have are going to be really intellectual, very deep, very philosophical. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that word, but you get what I'm saying. And there'll sort of be kind of like this grace and this richness and eloquence about your conversations, and even a sense of like excitement, you know, like it'll just be very lively, very effervescent, you know. And I just feel like your future partner will really talk about that too. This is something that they'll probably talk about to a lot of people. I feel like when they're talking about you to anybody or introducing you or kind of like bringing up the fact that like, hey, I'm with somebody, they're really going to talk about like, hey, like my partner is like super excited. She's like, or he or whatever, you know, but you know, they're just very exciting and they're just so much fun to talk to. I feel like I could talk to them all night. I feel like phone calls will definitely be a big thing for you guys, or, you know, talking on the phone or just, you know, texting a lot. Just the conversations are going to be super engaging and super like, they're going to really just suck you in, and you'll like leave them and be like, oh my gosh, it's already been 5 hours, you know? And I also feel like dates will be really fun between the two of you. I feel like with the way that you guys have so many different interests, some that complement each other and some that just bring something completely new to the table, is just because of that, I feel like you'll never run out of you'll never run out of good ideas for fun things to do. You'll never run out of, you know, like, oh, like we can go here today, or oh my gosh, you know, I'm just feeling this today, you know. It's just, it'll just be so easy, you know. It'll feel so effortless and so fluid, and your partner will really be all over that. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, I swear, like, it's literally the vibe of like finishing each other's sentences, you know. I feel like that's gonna be a lot of the vibe for you guys, and it's gonna be something that this person really gushes about. Like, they're going to talk about it to an obsession, I feel, but only if solicited. But I definitely do feel like with their closer friends, they're going to talk about you a lot, because with the Tower card, they'll simply not be able to get over the changes that you kind of brought, or how you came into their life so suddenly, or how, you know, like, you really kind of like turn their emotional world upside down and kind of turn, you know, like their perspective on chemistry completely upside down. You know, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I thought I knew what chemistry meant, but then I met pile 2, and literally I've never experienced anything like this before. Like, the conversations are so good, they're just so easy to talk to, they agree with me on everything, and even if they don't, like, we're able to have like a really productive conversation about it. I just feel like you guys will never really lock horns or butt heads too often, and it'll just make talking to each other so fluid, so comfortable, and so easy. And this is something that they're going to talk about a lot, I feel. Let's pull some more cards. We also have 9 of Cups. Oh my gosh. And sorry, these cards are like really matte, so they kind of like stick together. And 2 of Swords. So I feel like with the 2 of Swords, I'm picking up, because obviously the 2 of Swords is about like, you know, indecision and being stuck between two ways. I definitely do feel as if though this kind of slow burn that I'm picking up on here, or kind of the foundation, will definitely be something that is recognizable and significant, because I feel like at the beginning, one or both of you will kind of be getting over something. It doesn't even have to be like an ex-lover or anything of that nature, but I just feel like when you meet this person, pile 2, it'll definitely be a situation in which it's not as optimal, you know. It'll be like a flower growing in the weedy side of the lawn, you know. It'll be something completely unexpected, especially with the Tower card here. I know I keep talking about that. And I'm starting with the 2 of Swords because obviously the 2 of Swords isn't as like exciting as the 9 of Cups. And I just feel like this person is going to be, it's going to click so much that they're going to be a little bit suspicious, I feel. They're going to be like, I'm not sure, you know. And not like in a way like, oh, like I'm not sure about this person, like I don't know if I want to be with them, but more so in a way that's, it's going so well that I'm not really sure if like, am I tripping, or am I going crazy, and do I just need help, do I need to do the ice bucket challenge, you know, kind of that vibe. Because it'll be like one of those too good to be trues kind of moment, you know? I feel like you guys are going to ride through the honeymoon phase for quite a long time, because I just feel like you guys have so much to show each other and so much to talk to each other about. I feel like the honeymoon phase is definitely going to last a very long time between the two of you. Before and after, you know, you guys actually decide to start committing to each other, you know? I feel like the rush of meeting each other will be something, and then, you know, once you decide to actually start committing, that'll be like, it'll kind of put more gas in the tank, and it'll just, you know, like renew that rush, you know? Especially with the 9 of Cups. I just feel like this is going to be that pile where everything just, it seems as if though everything will be kind of like a too good to be true kind of moment. And not like in a literal sense, but more so in, like metaphorically. And I just feel like with the Star card and the Two of Swords, this person, I'm not gonna lie, with the Tower card too at the very beginning, because I see the Tower card as like, not like a negative card, but like, it's still an unpleasant card no matter what context you apply it. Because at the end of the day, it's still a big change, And I just feel like with the Star card, it seems as if though this person will feel like you kind of came at a very, not dark, but kind of like a unpredictable or unfavorable time in their life. And that definitely gives way for that foundation aspect too, because you guys will move very slowly, or you guys won't like, rush into things. And even if you do, you keep an open line of communication. And it'll definitely be something that you and this person talk about a lot. And something that this person talks to their friends about a lot. Because I just feel like they're gonna be like, oh my gosh. Especially with the Two of Swords, I feel like when you initially meet this person, or when you initially start committing to this person, they're really gonna reminisce about the fact that when they first met you, they weren't really sure if they were ready for love, or if they were ready to commit again. Perhaps they were like going through a very turbulent time of their life. They may have been getting over somebody. They may have just moved or something, just something that would be like a really big change, kind of like a tower moment. And so this is definitely something that they're going to talk about, to their friends, as in the sense of like, like, I don't know if, I'm not sure what this is. I really hope this is like the real thing, or I hope this is something more serious and more longevity focused. It's been a while, or, something of that nature. Something that would be like, it's been a while since I decided to start, it's been a while since things started looking up, or been a while since things, started getting better. And that's definitely something that your future partner is going to talk about to their friends, because I feel like when they first meet you, it'll definitely be a little bit aloof, or a little bit, uncertain and kind of uncomfortable, even not uncomfortable in like a bad, well, obviously uncomfortable in like a bad way, but not in a way that's crippling or overly anxiety inducing, but more so in a way that it'll just be very awkward timing the way you guys meet and when you guys meet. And I just feel like that's definitely something that they're going to talk about, because it'll definitely play into the aforementioned unexpectedness of this connection blossoming, because they'll kind of be like, wow, like, I met them at such a weird time of my life. I really didn't think that it would turn into something so serious, something so nice, something so, magnificent, whatever. It sounds cliche, but I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of you are into the cliches, or if you guys were a little bit just as skeptical as I am of the cliches. But I definitely feel like with the Nine of Cups, it really will feel like a wish come true for them. And you definitely will feel like kind of like a godsend to them, honestly. It'll be just kind of a moment for them where they're like, hey, yo, like, my entire life changed when I started committing to pile 2. And I don't want it to sound like, oh, I'm like, yeah, this person's gonna be like all about you, and oh my god, they're gonna be like, you're gonna be like their wish come true and stuff like that. I don't want the messages to come off like as TikTok's been saying, delusional, or kind of, like feeding those or anything of that nature, but more so in a way that this person, they will feel that way. Maybe they won't describe it that way, maybe they won't put it into words that way, but the way that they talk about you and the way that their vibes kind of come off when they're talking about you, or when they're explaining you and all of that nature, it really will seem like this person is just like, they're going to be very excited to mention you, or they're going to be very excited to see you, to talk to you, all of that nature. Because I do feel like with the Tower card and Two of Swords, it will have been a very long time since this person actually started to feel some sort of way, since they decided to start committing, since they, found somebody that felt so, right for them, or found somebody that makes them feel so, like nice, and, somebody that they click with so quickly. And it'll definitely be something that they talk about a lot, something that they, just, they go on and on and on about it, because it'll just be something so unexpected, Okay, let's pull some more cards before I kind of like sound like a broken record. So we have Two of Pentacles and Five of Swords. Yeah, I definitely do think that with the Five of Swords and Two of Pentacles, this person, when they meet you initially, and honestly maybe throughout the relationship, it could be a very turbulent time of their life, or one full of uncertainty and full of upheavals and changes with the Tower card here. Maybe the Tower card doesn't even refer to their emotions and how they feel about you. For some of you, and maybe most of you, that will be the case, but I just feel like with the Five of Swords, just the Swords cards in general and the Tower card and this Two of Pentacles, it gives me this vibe of somebody who is juggling a lot in their life, you know. Think like school, work, you know, all these other side quests, you know, it's just all these other things that this person needs to do. And in the midst of it, they'll carve out some time for you. In the midst of it, they'll hope you stay along with them. And I just feel like this person will kind of talk about how, like, you were really patient with them. You know, you really stuck around. You really put in the effort. You really didn't give up on them. And you really try to see things out for what it was. I feel like with the Star card, it'll definitely seem as if though along the relationship, or, you know, throughout the journey in which this relationship kind of, you know, takes place and unfolds, it will be the situation where at some point both of you will kind of unconsciously or like instinctively start to see the same vision for the connection, you know. I feel like you guys will both start to kind of make these moves and actions that will kind of like, oh, like, this is how we're going to be together, you know, or like, this is what I want, you know. And your actions will really suggest that, because I feel like with the nature of, because Five of Swords and Two of Swords don't really come off as like overly communicative cards to me. So I feel like a lot of the vibes here will be based on actions and based on, you know, what you guys do to prove the relationship is something that you are both pursuing. And I feel like I'm describing a lot of like how the relationship will unfold, or how like the relationship will kind of take place, how you may even meet this person. But I just want to say for the record, I feel like a lot of the things that I'm describing right now are kind of what your partner is going to talk about to their friends, you know? I feel like a lot of the explanation and a lot of the conversation that they like a lot of what they contribute to the conversation revolving around you will heavily have to do with what I'm talking about right now throughout this reading, in the sense that they will feel like, you know, you really came out of nowhere, and or you didn't really come out of nowhere, but, you know, the feelings for you came out of nowhere. Everything just seemingly worked out. It took a little bit of cutting ties, I feel, with the Five of Swords. I do think that with the Five of Swords, they definitely will have been getting over something, and this is something that they'll be talking about, you know. They're like, yeah, like, ever since blank, or ever since this happened to me, I didn't think that, you know, I would meet somebody again, or I didn't think that something would, you know, be noticeable again. And especially with the Two of Pentacles, this person could be very busy when they first meet you, or they will just be like, I feel like a lot of like, it'll feel like breadcrumbing in the beginning, and I feel like a lot of detachment is gonna happen before attachment actually happens, because I feel like it'll be like, maybe you guys attach with the Cups here, and then you guys detach, and then you guys attach again, you know. It'll be kind of like a, meeting each other will be a happy union, but then it'll be kind of like focusing back on each other's personal, you know, like focusing on one another's personal lives, you know, like taking care of themselves. And then like, as things kind of pan out and things kind of get sorted out individually, the union will kind of come together, you know. And honestly, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm doing such a good job of explaining this, because it's just so clear to navigate this, and it's just such a clear message, because I feel like, once again, when this person explains the timeline of this connection, you know, unfolding and panning out, they're going to be just as amazed as you are, just as amazed as I am right now, because they'll really feel like it all just happens so perfectly and so effortlessly, you know. And they're definitely going to gush about you a lot because of that, you know. They're going to be like, I feel like the way I met them is just like, it's truly something else, you know. It's something that I wasn't expecting. And yeah, I know I keep going back to that. You see what I mean? Like, I feel like that's a lot of how they're going to talk about you, because the conversations, I feel like, are going to be just them constantly over, like, just reiterating, like, they were just came out of nowhere. I don't know how this happened, you know. You know when you're like fangirling over something and you're just like, I wasn't expecting this to happen, you know, or like, I didn't think that this would be the case, you know. This is definitely something that they're going to be talking about, you know. They're going, me going in circles and me, you know, constantly going back to the same point is exactly how they're going to talk about you, because they're just going to be so like shooketh, and they're just going to be so like, you know, like rattled up, that they're going to be like, wow, like, I literally can't believe it, you know. I'm going to pull the last few cards here before we're going to wrap things up. We also have 10 of Wands. Then we have, sorry, I'm just like making sure that there's no like too many cards. And then we have Strength. And last card, we have Ten of Swords. Yeah, it really does seem as if though, and we also have a lot of, well, not a lot, but we know we have 2 out of the 4 tens in the court cards here, or not court cards, but you know what I'm talking about. I just feel like the fact that we pulled 2 tens here along with the Tower card, it really does go to show that this person will meet you right as a bunch of things are getting wrapped up in their life. And this definitely talks about that aforementioned, like, they're gonna meet you, they're gonna detach, or you're gonna detach, and one or both of you is gonna detach. And I don't want this detachment to come off scary, you know, or I don't want it to be like, oh my gosh, like we're, you know, I don't want it to come off that way. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you guys both have business in your personal lives, and this is definitely something that you guys will appreciate, because I feel like it'll just show that from right in the beginning, you guys will have a mutual respect for each other's personal space, and this is something that's really going to take the relationship far, and it's definitely something that they're going to talk about a lot, because I feel like you guys won't be like overly possessive or crazy over each other. Like with the Star card, like you guys will literally be able to go out with your friends still. You guys will, you know, no, none of that like give me your password stuff, you know. And that's definitely something that's going to really, they're going to talk about a lot, because I feel like they've been in past relationships, or they've witnessed past relationships with their friends and stuff, like people being in situations or relationships where they're being policed, they're being, you know, constricted. And with the Strength card, they really, I feel like you're gonna bring this some like motivation to them. And what I mean by that is I feel like this person, they're gonna be motivated to heal, they're gonna be motivated to move along with their life, they're gonna be motivated to make themselves available to you. And this is something that they're going to talk about quite a lot in the beginning, kind of in that detachment phase, you know. They'll be like, yeah, like I've been talking to her, but like, or like him, you know, I keep saying her because like the majority of my audience is women, but you know, like I just want to say, like, apply the pronouns and apply the gender and identities as they resonate with you. Just wanted to put that out there because I get so upset when I, like, I don't know. Anyways, I just feel like in this detachment phase, they're gonna be like, yeah, I've been talking to them, you know, here and there. And I just feel like I'm going through a lot right now, but I can totally see like a connection with this person. And so I'm just kind of giving it time, you know. I feel like if they don't describe it as eloquently as I just did here, I definitely do think that, or fluidly, you know, I just feel like they're going to really talk about how they're going through some things right now and they're really dealing with a lot of burdens. They may even be overworked, but in the midst of that and through that, they're going to be very motivated to kind of move on from things so that they can kind of sweep things up and make room for you and kind of suggest like, hey, like I'm going through some things and I kind of want to leave you out of it because you aren't, you know, you don't deserve to be a part of that. Not like in a rude way, but you know, like you don't need to be part of the chaos that has nothing to do with you. And this will definitely play into the Two of Swords kind of thing. But I feel like in the grand scheme of things here, what's going to happen is this person's going to be very happy and surprised, and they're going to really talk about how they chose you, you know? And yeah, honestly, Pile 2, I'm just going to sum up your reading by saying, when you meet this person, and take everything that I say as kind of like a descriptor for what they're going to say about you to their friends, when you meet this person, they're going to be like, kind of going through a lot of things in their life and kind of wrapping things up in their life and, you know, kind of closing off a lot of karmic chapters. And so because of that, the initial connection will be very strong and then it'll kind of fizzle out again and then get strong again. You know, like when you light a candle, the flame is like really big and then it like dies down and then you're like, girl, like is this candle about to like go out? And then suddenly like out of nowhere it just gets really big again, you know? I feel like that's going to be kind of the vibes. I feel like that's definitely going to be something that happens. And I just feel like this person's really going to talk about you in the way that, like, they're going to love that they're going to gush about how you respect their personal space, you respect their individuality, and vice versa, you know, like it's a mutual thing. They're going to talk about how you kind of came into a very awkward time with their life, and they're just going to continuously gush about the fact that you kind of stuck around, and that they're glad that they stuck around, they're glad that the connection, that they took their time with the connection, and that they're glad that they even met you, and they're gonna be like, wow, they seemingly came out of nowhere. And they're probably gonna repeat a lot of the same things over and over again, being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I met them. They came out of nowhere. They're so unexpected, you know? If you're gonna take anything from this reading, and if you're going to say this is what they're gonna say about me to their friends, it's gonna be that you came out of nowhere, you were very unexpected. So yeah. That's all I have for you, Pile 2. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the reading resonated. Your reading was gorgeous. I honestly saw kind of some of myself in this reading with the guy that I'm talking to, so hopefully that resonates, lol. But, you know, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like a personal reading, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the Golden Thread Tarot, this is going to be your reading for how will your future partner describe you to their friends? And before anything, I was about to start filming and I had left the deck like this. Like, can you imagine if I if I just left it like that? Like, that's just so like unprofessional. I don't know. I don't know. I was like thinking about it. Like, what if I just started filming without fixing it? Anyways. Oh my gosh. I just took a break after Pile 2 because I got really hungry and my stomach started growling near the end of Pile 2. I'm literally hoping that they didn't hear it. Oh my god, my cord just fell. Anyways. But yeah, I had to go eat. Then I was like talking to my roommate and I was like, oh my god. So yeah. I don't know. I'm feeling excited right now. Alright. How will Pile 3's future partner describe them to their friends? How will Pile 3's future partner describe them to their friends? Okay. First few cards, we have the Magician. Oh my gosh, this leaf is in the way. I don't know, this plant has a mind of its own. 8 of Wands. And Knight of Wands. I feel like... Oh, and the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Okay, one thing's for sure is Pile 3, your future partner is going to really describe you as very impulsive and somebody who is just like a ball to be around. You know those people that's just like, you swear they're down for anything. This is like the analogy that I'm always using, but it's like this, I feel like you're the kind of person that's just like so down for anything. I feel like you're so down to hang out with I just feel like with the right people, you really are willing to do anything, and that you really are, you know, excited, and that you are adventurous. Lots of Sagittarius energy here, honestly. You don't have to be a Sagittarius, but I just feel like that's like the vibe here. And with the 8 of Wands, I wouldn't be surprised if you and your future partner kind of like move quickly, or if when things start, they kind of just like, it's like a whirlwind, you know? And for those of you, I do want to say that this reading seems very flexible, and it seems like, what I'm trying to say here is I feel like if you're looking for a fling, this will be the fling. But for others of you, because obviously not everyone that's watching this video is going to be looking for like serious commitment. And I feel like maybe for some of you, this will be kind of just like a whirlwind of a fling, or a whirlwind of a fling that turns into something, just depending on what you guys want. But I think that's pretty safe to say that like for the vast majority of you that are, you know, like you want your next partner to be like commitment, like who wouldn't? So with that context being said, I just feel like for a lot of you, this will be like a huge fling, or it'll be kind of like, how do I say? You know, kind of just like a moment thing, maybe even a friends with benefits. And I feel like it'll turn into something else with time. If you are a social media addict like me, then sometimes they even call it a sneaky link. But, you know, I feel like this really does seem like the wild, no pun intended, the wild card of the entire video today, because I just feel like your partner, the way that they're going to describe you is just somebody who is very like fun and exciting to be around. They're going to think that you're really interesting, and I feel like with the Magician card, they're going to feel like they can get everything they want with you, and vice versa, like you'll be able to get everything that you want from them. I just feel like the Magician card, you know, the card of like manifestation, having all the things that you need, and all the right tools. I just feel like within that context and how it applies to this reading, it's kind of this sense of like you guys will have everything that you need within this union and everything that you guys need to, you know, succeed, be happy, feel good. And I just feel like it'll start probably very casual, because I feel like Knight of Wands is like a very like player type energy, and I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's very aloof and very commitment phobic, at least in my eyes. So with that being said, I do feel as if though this connection will go really fast, and I just feel like it'll be something that kind of starts out very casually, like I said. And for those of you that aren't interested in the long term, then that's where it'll end. But for those of you that do want something long term, I do feel as if though it'll get more serious. And I think that that's how they're gonna kind of talk to their friends about you, being like, hey yo, like we were just like, you know, hanging out, we were just being casual, we were just having fun, you know, like it was nothing serious. But then like, I don't know, like we just like caught feelings, and then, you know what I mean? Obviously the way I'm describing it is a lot more, at least in my eyes, a lot more proper, but I feel like this person will definitely describe it in a more vulgar manner, if you know what I mean. Not that I don't cuss, I hope y'all don't think that I don't cuss, because in real life I high-key cuss like a sailor. But okay, what I'm trying to say here is I just feel like this person is going to very much describe you in a way that's like, hey yo, like pile 3 and I, we were just messing around, we were just having fun, you know, we met at a party, or we met off a dating app, or like, you know, we met off here, and you know, we just like, we did some things together, if you know what I mean. And then it was just like whatever, and then we like stopped talking, and then we started talking again, and then suddenly it was just like more serious, you know, or we started catching feelings, and like something changed, you know. I just feel like basically what I'm trying to say, I feel like the connection by nature is going to be very fun, it's going to be very exciting, and that's definitely something that they're going to describe to their friends based on the actual experiences that you guys will go through. And the trajectory of it will kind of change as you guys start to catch feelings for each other, and it'll kind of become more and more apparent as you guys talk to each other more, know each other more, spend more time with each other. Like, wow, y'all, this is like, there's something in the air right here. It's charged. It's like, it's giving Wattpad, it's giving AO3, it's giving legendary, it's giving romance. You know, it's like some, you know, that vibe, you know, it'll just suddenly start shifting, you know. And even like the way I'm reading this, I feel like I kind of have like this goofy attitude, you know, like I feel like I'm goofing off right now, you know. I feel like I'm like playing, I don't know. And I just feel like that's how they'll describe you. I feel like they'll definitely describe you as like a very flirtatious, or just like a huge flirt, you know. And this honestly might trigger them a little bit, but like not in a bad way, but more so they might get possessive over you, because I feel like they'll be like, I just feel like they'd be flirting with everybody, you know. I feel like, am I really special, you know? Or like, am I really, do I mean something to them, you know? And it's like, I feel like if and when you find out about this, or even if you're listening to this now, you're gonna be like scream laughing, you're gonna be like LOL, you know, like laugh out loud. And it'll definitely be something that kind of shocks you. Or I just feel like this person won't give you the vibes that they are like a possessive or even clingy person. And not like clingy and possessive in a way like, give me your password and location, and I need all your receipts and stuff like that. But more so in a way like, you know, they'll get playful, cute, jealous, and clingy. And I feel like this is a side of them that you won't really realize that they had. I feel like it'll surprise you when you find out about it. And I also feel like their friends are going to be very surprised by the way they're getting. They're like, hey yo, I didn't know we got down like that around here. And they're going to be like, I don't know what's happening to me, you know. It sounds very dramatic, it sounds very like fanfic style, but I really do feel like that's kind of the vibes here. And even if it doesn't directly resonate the way I'm describing it, the vibes are all the same, if you know what I mean. It'll just be kind of the sense of like, it's something starts casually and something changes along the journey of just being casual, just being, you know, friends with benefits and nature, whatever the case may be. And then suddenly just kind of like something shifts, and they're like, hey, I wasn't expecting this, or oh my gosh, what's happening to me, you know. And also with the Knight of Wands, one of the things that also popped up in my head is I feel like they're going to describe you as like a show off, or somebody who is very proud of themselves, or somebody who, you know, is very confident. And I don't mean it in like a bad way. I feel like show off can have like a negative connotation to it, but like truthfully, I feel like you guys have like a flair for a drama, or you have a flair for a conversation, or everything that you do, you have to add a little bit of excitement and a little bit of like, you know, just, how do I say, like, flamboyance to it. You know, you have to add spice to everything, because I feel like you really do take living your life very seriously. And I feel like, you know, you really are somebody who lives a lot in the moment, or somebody who doesn't like to take things so seriously all the time. I feel like there are times where you like to have fun, and there are times where you like to, you know, be sad and like cry in the room, you know. I feel like that's the fire sign vibe. It, like I said, you don't have to have major fire placements within your chart, but I just feel like that embodiment of living your life in a way that's like, you experience your lows you experience the lowest of lows with the highest of highs. And maybe in that sense, like, you're a Scorpio or like a water sign, because I feel like that's such a water sign thing, especially Scorpio. But, you know, regardless of the case here, I just feel like this is definitely going to be something that's very fun, and lots of, what's the word? Like, it's like lightning. I don't know how to describe it. It'll be like shocking. It'll be like some, like a spark. There we go. Oh my gosh. There's going to be a huge spark here, and it's going to be something that they definitely describe to their friends a lot. They're going to really gush over it and really be excited about it. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, it's just so exciting to be around them. Like, I get butterflies, you know, like, whenever they, like, touch me, I get, like, lightning bolts up my body or whatever. And I feel like the physicality of this connection will be very exciting and very satisfying for the both of you, very tantalizing. And I feel like that's definitely something they're going to be talking about with moderation, of course. It's not like they're going to be spilling the full-blown details of you guys getting down to business or anything like that, but more so in a way that's like, you know, I feel like I'm speaking a lot with like innuendos right now, or I'm speaking very like beating around the bush. It's like, but you know what I mean? I just feel like it won't always be the deed, you know. You guys could just be very physically affectionate, or just, what I'm trying to say, like, the physical chemistry here is going to be unmatched compared to possibly any other connection that both of you have had. And this will definitely be something that this person talks about a lot. Your future partner is going to be very physically attached to you, and then the emotional attachment will kind of follow in. And I really do feel like that's kind of how the dynamic will go, or kind of how everything will unfold. So yeah, let me pull some more cards. We also have 5 of Swords. Let me push these over. I know these cards are kind of hard to see in this lighting. And then we also have the Moon. So yeah, I feel like with the 5 of Swords and the Moon card, that leaves me to believe that the nature of the connection might stall, or it might be something that just like, because with the Moon card, I see it as like, you know, illuminating fears or illuminating anxieties, or just things coming up to the surface. And I just feel like with the casual nature that I keep talking about, it could possibly be just the fact that if you guys, or if one or more of you is like really afraid of commitment, maybe the feelings of wanting to commit will come up, and that'll kind of be like the catalyst for what is coming up to the surface and what is bringing up fear, you know? Because I feel like somebody, possibly them, is going to be very nervous. It could even be you. I feel like it doesn't really matter. It's just that depending on who it is, this person will kind of express their concerns to their friends, or the kind of their anxieties and fears in regards to this connection. Because I feel like with the 5 of Swords, they won't really want it to end on bad terms, or they won't want it to just be a fling, or they won't want it to just, you know, be strictly casual at a certain point. And once again, like, if you are looking for something more casual and you're not looking for something with longevity, then obviously apply that. But I just feel like the nature of this reading is that a lot of you guys are looking for commitment, you know, or you guys are looking for something that is built to last. And I feel like with the 5 of Swords and the Moon card, they're going to have a lot of fears and a lot of concerns in regards to this connection, because I feel like they're going to be very nervous about how it's going to pan out, how it's going to work out, you know, because I feel like in the past, maybe they've been in connections where they weren't able to really express themselves, or they weren't able to get what they wanted, or it was kind of rushed in a weird way, or feelings were forced upon them, they were gaslit, or, you know, they were put through, just in general, like, their past situationships were very uncatering to their needs. And because of that, I feel like they have like a subtle aversion for commitment, or an aversion for a connection that they know may hurt them or may cause problems. And so as a result, I feel like a lot of their past fears and anxieties may come up. I feel like later down the line, like, I feel like this conversation is a very uncomfortable conversation to have, but I do think that with the nature of, you know, this union and how it's gonna pan out, I do feel like at some point they're gonna be like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, just in the past, I haven't really been into. And honestly, I feel like this isn't even towards you. I feel like this will be to their friends, you know, they'll, I feel like to new friends too, they'll be like, yeah, like, I'm just not used to this, you know, after blank and after all that happened, I just feel like I'm scared of committing again, or I'm scared of like catching feelings again, or I'm scared that they aren't wanting to commit to me. I'm scared that they are scared of committing or something like that, you know. Just however it resonates and however, you know, it sounds according to, you know, how you feel about connections and commitment. But I just feel like as a whole here, it seems as if though, like with the Five of Swords, there'll just be kind of like this fear or kind of like this conflict avoidance, like this like they'll be swimming away from something. And I just feel like it's something they're going to beat around the bush with. And I'm not going to lie, Pile 3, for some of you, this may cause a lot of stress, or this may be something that takes time to develop. I feel as if, though, like, this will probably be most on their side, depending on how you see it. Because obviously, I don't want to sit here and, like, feed you a reading that's like, oh, yeah, it's going to be, like, sunshine and rainbows and stuff like that. It's going to be, like, fun. Like, we love that, lol. But, like, the reality of it is like, every connection has its bumps and bruises, and they all have, you know, their predicaments. And I just feel like one of the dilemmas that this person might run into internally in terms of this union is the fact that they're going to get very confused, and that they're going to be like, oh, like, I don't really know. I just feel like through it all, with the Knight of Wands and the Magician, they just know that they want you, or they will know that they want to keep exploring their emotions for you, you know? It's like, even if they aren't sure that they want to commit to you, or even if they aren't sure as to whether or not they want to kind of like, you know, tie the knot, I just feel like as a whole here, they just really want to explore the emotions that they feel for you, and they want to continue to kind of like voyage through these feelings and kind of, you know, see what's going on, you know, because I feel like the commitment conversation is something that's going to be delayed for a really long time, or it's going to be something that doesn't really come to it doesn't come to like a conclusion, or kind of like a mutual agreement for a while. And I don't think that this will be in a way that's like uncomfortable, or in a way like this really needs to be discussed, or, you know, maybe towards near the end, right before you have the conversation, it'll get kind of like the space, it'll get kind of claustrophobic in terms of that, like, okay, we really need to have this convo. But I feel like at that point the conversation will actually happen, you know. And I just feel like you guys are going to be milking the fun of it, and you're going to be having a lot of fun together, and you're going to really be enjoying your time together. And that's why I feel like you guys aren't going to really be talking about commitment, or you guys aren't really going to be talking about where the connection is heading, because you guys are just having so much fun living in the moment and seeing how things are. And this is definitely something that your partner is going to talk about to their friends, in the sense that like, yeah, like, I'm just having so much fun with them, you know. And I honestly feel like it won't be something that they naturally think of. I feel like their friends are gonna be like, hey, you've been talking about Pile 3 a lot. Like, what's going on here? Are you... What is this? Like, this, it's giving relationship. It's giving ring on the finger. It's giving, like... It's giving sending Instagram posts to each other because, you know, you thought of them, you know? And I just feel like with that being said, that's kind of where they'll realize, oh, snap, I've been spending a lot of time with Pile 3, and, like, I'm kind of catching feelings for them, you know? And I just feel like it'll definitely be something that pans out. And I just feel like I do want to put, like, I just want to say, like, I do feel like I'm not really sure how you're going to feel in this connection, but it's pretty safe to say that you're going to have a lot of fun, because obviously the topic of the reading is like, oh, like, what are they going to say to their friends? And I don't know, like, I feel like the way I'm describing this, it could potentially it could leave a lot of space for interpretation, in terms of like, it could stress you out, or it could cause like a lot of drama, or like a lot of inner turmoil for you, or like trigger you in the sense of like they're being very aloof and non-committal and no strings attached. But I just want to say, Pile 3, you guys will really be on the same page, and that's why this connection will be able to sustain for so long in this kind of like state of vibration, or state of being, you know, of like being so casual and being so like, you know, like nonchalant, is because you guys are going to be on the same page about everything. You guys will kind of like, you know, kind of promise the same things to each other, and you guys will be, you know, relatively communicative about these kind of things. And I just feel like it'll just feel so comfortable and so fluid, you know. And I don't know, I just like wanted to get this out of the way, or like I wanted to kind of lay that out there, because I don't want it to seem like this connection is going to be something that's like, you know, like you know, like a disaster, or like, oh, like it's gonna be stressful because you don't know if they're gonna commit, you don't know if you're gonna commit. But more so, I'm just trying to say, like, it'll just be something that you guys are so on the same page about, and that this person's gonna have so much fun, and that they're going to describe just what I said to their friends, you know, like, we're just on the same page about everything. Like, they just get it. They just know the vibe. They know how to, you know, move at the pace that we're comfortable at. They're just so cool. They're so respectful. I love being around them. I don't get any bad vibes from them, you know, like, they're just so chill. And I also feel like with the Knight of Wands, they'll also talk a lot about like your interests and hobbies, or a lot of the things that you're interested in, you know. They're like, oh my gosh, like pile 3 loves doing this, this, and this, or they love, you know, being around these people, or oh my gosh, pile 3 loves this just like I do. Like, I didn't think that they'd be into that, but they are. I'm like really excited. And yeah, it'll be so fun. I don't know. I feel like it's the only way I can describe it. Let me pull some more cards before I kind of go round and round. We also have 10 of Pentacles. And then we have the Tower. Yeah, it really does seem as if though this connection, I think that it'll be very like, almost like stereotypical how the connection kind of pans out. Like, at least based on the way it's starting, in the sense that like I feel like the Tower moment here is definitely going to be in regards to the emotions that are being felt, you know. Like, it'll just be kind of like a slamming of the brakes moment, like, hey yo, like, I like pile 3, you know. And I also feel like with the 10 of Pentacles, it made me feel 8th house energy, because like I feel like, okay, let me explain my thought process here. So I seen 10 of Pentacles. I was like, oh, 10 of Pentacles, that makes me think of marriage and like happy union. Oh, that makes me think of conjoined resources, because of like, you know, like when typically when you're married, like what's mine is yours and blah blah blah. And that made me think of 8th house, because 8th house rules conjoined resources. So Scorpio could be very significant here. I don't know, that just like popped in my head, and I just wanted to like mention it to you because I thought you'd like to know. I don't know, like, we love communication. But I feel like with the Tower card and the 10 of Pentacles, I feel like those are such different cards, like honestly, like polar opposites. And with that being said, I just feel like a lot of what you guys know, or I feel like you guys are gonna make a lot of sacrifices to be around each other, and not like sacrifices in like a bad way, you know. You're not gonna like move or like quit a job or anything, but I just feel like, you know, when like you're just so into someone and you're like, hold on, I'm gonna call off work or reschedule so I can come see you today. I feel like those are gonna be the vibes in this connection. I feel like that's definitely gonna be something that's relevant in this connection. Or like, you know, like your days off are gonna be like strictly spent with them, you know what I mean? It's just like, and I don't want it to come off like in a way that like, oh, like you guys are going to be impeding on each other's personal lives, or, you know, like you're going to be giving up your personal life to like hang out with this person. But more so in a way that's like, you know, like, oh, like you just love spending time with them, and you are willing to carve out as much time as you can with them without, you know, like disrespecting yourself. And I feel like this person will definitely be more big on that than you will be, if at all. If like, I don't know if you're gonna do that at all, but I definitely do think that this person's gonna tell their friends all the time, be like, hey, like I can't come today, or hey, like I can't go today, like I'm seeing someone, or like, hey boss, like I have to call off today because I'm very sick, you know, I'm like literally dying right now, like please, like can you send me some NyQuil in the mail, like thanks king, bye. You know, kind of that vibe. I feel like this person's they're going to dump a lot of time into you. They're going to love spending time with you. They're going to literally be like, hey, I'm off work in 5 minutes. Can I come over? And something like that. It'll just be like that spark. You know what I'm saying? It'll just be so exciting. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 more cards here before we kind of wrap things up. We also have Queen of Cups. We're gonna 2 of Pentacles. And also the Knight of Pentacles. So I also feel like, okay, with the Queen of Cups here, and like, I just feel like they're going to talk about you in a way that's like, they're going to see you as very sensitive. They're going to see you as very like compassionate and very caring. I feel like for a lot of you, you're going to be very caring towards this person, or like you'll be very willing to listen to what they have to say, you know, or you'll be very nurturing towards them, and not like in a way like I'm your mommy or like I'm your father or whatever, but more so in a way that's like you're there to support them. You know, you're very supportive of their individual life, and you're very supportive of their habits and what they're trying to get done, especially with the Two of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles here. It's crazy because we have like 3 out of the 4 knights here, you know? And so it's just, it gives me this vibe that with the 3 knights here, it seems as if though like this person will feel this need to like prove themselves to you, or to, you know, because I feel like they're gonna feel like you have options, pile 3. I'm not gonna lie, because with the Tower card here, when they start to catch feelings for you and that kind of jealous side of them comes out, they're gonna start to feel like, hey yo, like does pile 3 have other people, or are they into other people, or are other people into them? Like they're gonna just feel like kind of this innate need to like prove themselves to you, and they're gonna talk about this to their friends, like what if pile 3 is talking to other people, we haven't had like a commitment conversation yet, and like what if they're just like, you know, like leading me on or something like that, or what if they don't like want to commit to me or something, or like, you know, it's kind of like that, you know. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of like round and round with that. And I definitely do think that it's going to be something that with time they might bring up to you. But I feel like with the knights here, it seems as if though, like with you, they'll present like a very calm demeanor. But to their friends, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm like freaking out. Like I don't know what's going on here. Also, with the Queen of Cups here and the way it's like illustrated, I feel like they're going to talk to their friends and say that if you're a woman or like whatever it may be, they're just going to like say that you have nice chest. I take that for what it is. I don't know. I felt the need to mention that. And I also feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, they're going to see you as like a very hard worker. They're going to talk to their friends about like they really admire your work ethic, and they're going to really admire how you're able to balance things. Oh, and with the Two of Pentacles, they're going to tell their friends a lot about how they really do feel like you make time for them, or like how you make time for each other. They're going to like brag about it even. They're going to like, yeah, we're really busy, but we still make time for each other, unlike you guys. Oh my gosh, you know, like you guys wish you guys could find someone that makes time for you, or have someone that, you know, like you could have time with, you know. I'm low-key feeling like this person's gonna kind of rub it in people's faces, or kind of like, you know, like boast about it a lot, just because they're so like happy and they're so like excited to be around you, you know. They're just gonna find you so exciting. And also very attractive, both physically and emotionally. They're gonna be all over you. They're gonna be very clingy in person. Like they won't be able to get their hands off you, I honestly feel. And yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna sum up your reading, pile 3, by saying that this person is gonna describe you in a way that's like, they're gonna talk about you in a way that's very vulgar, but the meaning behind the words is gonna be very sweet, you know? Or like, even if like the implications here will be a mixture of being very kind of like unfiltered and unhinged, but at the same time very sweet and emotional and compassionate, you know, in a way that's like, you know, like they're very sweet and they're very nice and they're very, you know, beautiful. I love being around them. I just love how they appreciate the small things. I love how they love talking, and I love how they love sunsets and clear blue skies just like me. On the other hand, they have a really nice body. We love that. They're hot, and yeah, like, can we just like make babies all night? I don't know. You know, kind of that vibe, you know? It'll be like 2 sides of the same coin, you know? I feel like when they're describing you to their friends, it'll be like constantly flipping between like, oh yeah, like ooh woo, like we love them, like, you know, flailing hands in the air, like I like them so much, to like, wow, like they have nice blank, you know, insert word describing body, and they're just gonna be like really into you, you know. And I do feel as if though this nature of this connection will start more casually, or it'll kind of just like blow up in y'all's faces, and then as they move along with it, they're gonna start catching feelings. And I feel like when they start catching feelings, it'll be kind of like, at first when they talk about you, it's gonna be like really aloof and very fun, like, oh my gosh, like, you know, we're just having fun, like we love being around them, I love spending time with them, they're so cool, like I love going to places with them. And then as they keep talking about you, people are gonna be like, you definitely like them, and they're all like smiling at their phone when they get a text message from you, and they're like, no I'm not, no I don't. And they're gonna be like, oh snap. And then they're gonna be like, oh wow, like what's going. And I feel like that's when they're gonna kind of close off for a little bit and be like, yo, have internal crisis, be like, oh my god, I caught feelings, or oh my gosh, like what is this, like I wasn't expecting this, guys. And then like, you know, that's kind of how they'll talk to their friends. They're like, I don't know, y'all, like what's going on. And they're gonna be like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm just like going all over the place right now. I don't know. I've never gotten this chaotic in a reading. I feel like that's definitely how the vibe's gonna be when they're describing you to their friends. It's gonna be very chaotic and very passionate and very impulsive. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching Pile 3. That is all I have for you. I hope the reading resonated. I hope you liked it. I feel like that is the most graphic I've ever gotten in any of my readings. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Again, I love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 4. If you chose the Gothmancy Tarot deck, this is going to be your reading for how will your future partner describe you to their friends? I keep saying I keep starting with what because I'm so used to all the questions starting with what. So I'm impressed because your pile is the first pile where I finally got it right. It took 4 piles to get it right. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I remember I bought this deck and at first I really didn't vibe with it, but as I started using it in videos, I vibed with it. I don't know, this deck is very an acquired taste. I don't know. Not to I'm not judging you because obviously I bought the deck. I liked it. I don't know. It's just it's so different and unique. I don't know. How will Pile 4's future partner describe them to their friends? How will Pile 4's future partner describe them to their friends? Okay, first card we have Knight of Cups. It's an intense Knight of Cups. This is the first time I've ever seen this card come out with this deck. And 5 of Swords. And 7 of Wands. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Wands. So right off the bat, Pile 4, they're going to describe you as a catch. Come on. Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Is there anything else that says I feel some sort of way about this person and I would like to pursue them at all costs than these cards here? Because I feel with the 5 of Swords, the first thing that came to mind was I feel this person will have options. I feel somebody in this connection will have options. Either you, them, both of you, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to have options here, or some people are going to have options here. And this person is going to do whatever it takes to kind of get towards you or see what you're all about, Because I feel with the 7 of Wands, they'll kind of describe you as somebody who is very closed off or somebody who is very reserved and very protective over their information, what they're doing with their life, and the things that they, invest their energy into, and the things that they're just very passionate about, I feel you can be a very discreet person, even if you do, have a very outgoing personality, or even if you are very just outgoing by nature, or you seem like you're open, but I just feel underneath all of that, it's just it's really all just a veneer of, public display and what you're putting out there. It's very selective because I feel deep down you are, in fact, very motivated, very brazen, and very, passionate about things. And I feel you feel very intensely, and I feel you have a lot of highs and lows. And the reason I'm kind of laying this out is because I feel with the Knight of Cups here, this person will clearly be intuitive enough to understand that you are more than what you seem, or you are more than what meets the eye. And this is definitely something that they're going to describe to their friends at first, They're going to be I don't know what it is about Pile 4. I just seen them and I feel some sort of way about them, I don't know who they are. I haven't really talked about them. I feel a lot of the conversation that's going to revolve around you, Pile 4, is going to be around the beginning of when they first run into you or when you are first introduced into their life, So they just see you passing by at work or something, or, something that would be a very unexpected and even taboo way of meeting each other. I almost wonder if your 7th house or this person's 7th house is in the 12th house, or if 12th house is relevant here. Just because I feel with the nature of this reading and the vibes that I'm picking up on here, I feel the way you guys meet will be very unconventional and very unexpected, somewhat of a surprise and something that you guys weren't really counting on happening. and definitely something that kind of changes things. And I do think that with the Seven of Wands, that's kind of prevalent here, because I feel like the Seven of Wands within this context, you know, the Seven of Wands is about standing up for yourself, standing your ground, you know, on the defense. And I feel like with that kind of application being brought up in this reading, it just seems as if though, like, this connection, I feel like you both will kind of have a resistance to it, or you guys will be kind of uncertain about it, because with the Five of Swords here, I do feel as if though it will take a lot, it'll not be as simple as just like being with each other, or, you know, or talking to each other, you know. I do feel as if though the way this situation kind of unfolds between the two of you is definitely going to be the bulk of the conversation, in which this person kind of like starts up when they're talking to their friends, because they just won't be able to get over the fact that they met you at such a weird time with their life, or in such like a weird position, you know. They just like, they weren't really expecting that, you know. They weren't really, I don't think, I mean, for the record, I don't think any of the piles today will have necessarily been expecting meeting somebody, but I just feel like for your pile especially, it'll just be kind of the sense of like, it was very out of the blue, especially considering the circumstances and how you guys met. And I feel like I'm painting in broad strokes here. I'm talking very vaguely here, almost cryptically, but I feel I'm just referring that to the fact that the way you guys meet, obviously not every single one of you watching this pile is going to meet this person in the exact same way to one another. If that were to happen, I wouldn't, I don't know, like, somebody say something, somebody do something. But, you know, that's why I'm speaking kind of broad strokes here, because I kind of want the feelings and kind of the vibes to kind of apply, and I want you to resonate with that as opposed to the situation itself, because I feel like the vibes and kind of what happens is gonna be the bulk of the conversation too. It'll just be like, I feel some sort of way about pile 4, y'all. Like, I haven't really met anybody like them before, or I haven't even really seen anybody like them before, or like I just haven't really been in the dating world for a while, and it's been a while since somebody caught my eye. You know, like, I've been talking to all these people, but like this person finally caught my eye. They have my attention, they have my peak interest, and it will definitely be something that really kind of gets the gears turning in their head, and the ones full of cobwebs, let's be real. Because I feel like with the Queen of Wands here, the way you carry yourself and the way you assert yourself will be very fun and very interesting. Because I feel like it seems as if though, like, despite the fact that you come off as very maybe passionate and very fiery and very, you know, like, how do I say, like, flaky even, it's just that it's clear that beneath all of that, you are in fact a more sensitive person, or somebody who has immense power and somebody who has immense capacity. And that's definitely something that they're going to sniff out on, and something that they're going to pick up on, because with the Knight of Cups, I do feel like it's going to be a very, you know, intuitive person, somebody who's very emotional and very soft on the inside, very pulpy, very, how do I say, makes me think of like Cancer. You know how like a Cancer, like crab is like hard shelled, but on the inside they're just like mush. I definitely feel like that's kind of the vibes that this person will kind of emit. And I also feel like with the Knight of Cups, they're really going to talk along. They're going to beat around the bush, or kind of like circle around for a really long time before they actually decide to make a move on you, especially with the Five of Swords and Seven of Wands. I just feel like those two cards following the Knight of Cups really just solicits kind of this, like, a wolf surrounding its prey. And I know that's kind of like a kind of a violent, even graphic description, or a way of kind of like laying the situation out, but I just want to say, like, it's that waiting period of wanting to strike, you know. I feel like this person will really talk to their friends for a really long time, like, I don't know, bro, like, I see them every day at my job, or I see them every day on the street, or I see them every day, period, and I, like, really want to make a move on them, or I don't know, I see them on social media all the time, I really just want to shoot my shot, you know, should I do it? And they're like, yeah, do it, and they're like, I don't know, you know. I feel like it's going to take a lot of pushing, and I feel like it's going to take a lot of, like, they're going to want to kind of calculate the move before they make a move on you. And I wouldn't be surprised if you'll literally already know that they have caught interest for you, or that they have their eye on you for a really long time before they actually make a move. Because I feel like with the Queen of Wands and how I've kind of like laid out the fact that perhaps that you guys are a lot more sensitive and a lot more motivated than you are deep, like, than you portray, I just feel like that gives away that somebody is a very good judge of character. And I feel like even without that context, even without that description, you guys are a very good judge of character, and I feel like you guys are able to kind of read people's intentions from like a mile away. And so with that being said here, I feel like you guys are going to kind of notice that this person's beating around the bush. And I just want to say, when they're doing that, when they have their eye on you, and when you notice that they're starting to behave a certain way around you, just know that they're gossiping to all their friends, like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I make a move on pile 4? Should I, should I like ask them out and or whatever? And I just want to say, like, I feel like this period of time is going to be really annoying for you guys. I feel like it's going to be something that really stresses you out. Not stresses you out, but like, it's going to be something that is like on the forefront of your mind, or it's just something that will be like, when your mind wanders, it'll be something that your mind wanders to. And also with the 5 of Swords, I did say like this person, like options will be involved here. I do think that this person will take a lot of premeditated moves before coming up to you. I feel like if they have other people in their phone, or if they're talking to other people, or if like you kind of suspect that they're talking to other people, because once again, I just feel like this will be like a very intuitive and kind of like from far away connection before things actually start taking place. I feel like a lot of you will communicate with this person maybe through like the spiritual realm or something of that nature. I feel like you guys will meet each other in each other's dreams or something like that, just some kind of connection that will take place within the subconscious, and something that will kind of happen. You'll feel like it happens before it actually happens, It will feel like it had happened before it actually happens, and because of that, I feel like there will be a sense of nostalgia and familiarity within this union, and this person's definitely going to talk about it. I don't think that this person will truly understand what's going on. I feel like this person will just ramble a lot and be like, I feel like I know pile 4 from somewhere, or I feel like I've met pile 4, or it feels like we've known each other our whole lives, that kind of vibe, that cliche stuff. But I do feel as if though that this person is going to very much be like, wow, like I feel like I've known pile 4 for a really long time, you guys. I feel like, I feel like I have dreams about this person, or something of that nature, or I find myself thinking about them a lot. It's just like, you guys are going to be very resistant towards this connection, one or both of you, and I feel as if though this person's resolve will weaken very quickly and it will dissolve, and with time this person will be willing to give up quite a bit, or be willing to kind of change things in their life to kind of see what you're all about and kind of like make their grand entrance into your life, Let's pull some more cards. We also have 10 of Swords and the Moon. Yeah, I really do think that this connection will take place subconsciously before anything, or even I feel like you guys will manifest this connection very subliminally, or something that will happen very subtly, something that will happen it will happen completely emotionally before it actually happens within the physical realm. I just feel like you guys, or this person, or both of you, I feel like y'all just have like a way with experiencing things, and I feel like maybe you guys get deja vu very often. This connection's gonna have some deja vu in it. I feel like when you actually start spending time with this person, pile 4, you're gonna get major deja vu. Like, you guys, have y'all ever had that before? Like, where I know y'all have, what am I talking about? But like, you're just like, I remember I'd be out with somebody, or I go out and I just like, I'm sitting in a parking lot of a store. I'm like, I swear I've been here before, even though I've never been there before. I feel like this has happened before. Honestly, that happened this morning. This morning, I was washing my face, and it literally felt like this was a morning that has been waiting on me since like, I was telling my diary about it, and I was like, this feels like a morning that I didn't finish a really long time ago. So I left it and kind of like left it undisturbed and kind of left it, like, oh, whatever, And then like today I finally finished it up. I don't know. Not to go off tangent here, but I just want to like explain like this connection will really feel like that, and this person will really feel it and really talk to their friends about it, especially their more closer friends and their friends, well, obviously, their friends that are more emotional and more into the occult and more into, like tarot, or, have more insight or a more flexible mind in terms of like astrology and stuff like that and past lives. I feel like this person will also believe in reincarnation, and I almost wonder if this person will be like, yeah, I wonder if we were like past life lovers or something of that nature, I just feel like that kind of vibe is very present here. I'm honestly really shocked because I never know what to expect from any of the piles, but I feel like this is the most fascinating reading out of all 4 piles today. Don't tell the other piles I said that, okay? I love all of you all equally. But I just feel like, with the 10 of Swords and the Moon card here, it really does seem as if though, okay, pause. With the Moon card, this further supports you know, the reading talking about how this will happen subconsciously, or this will be like a connection that they talk about a lot in terms of like, I feel like I've met this person before, or I've seen this in my dreams before. And with the Ten of Swords, I feel like this person will have undergone a lot of painful transformations prior to meeting you, or prior to this connection kind of taking off, you see. Because I just feel like this person just, they really feel some sort of way, and I feel like they are a very sensitive person, especially because the Knight of Cups is literally the first card to be pulled here. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like the Ten of Swords here, like, you know, we all know it's about betrayal, it's about painful endings, it's about, you know, heartache, all of the above, anything that you can imagine associated with like breakups and chapters closing. I just feel like this person will meet you definitely, like, they'll definitely feel like you're kind of like the sun rising after a dark night. And I know that's a very cliche, but I feel like this person will kind of describe you a lot in like song lyrics, or they'll listen to a lot of songs that remind them of you, because I feel like this deck in particular is very much related to, you know, like punk music, old time music, and, you know, music in general. The guidebook has like a bunch of songs, I think, but, you know, I just feel like this person's going to communicate to you a lot through music, or this person's going to feel like you communicate to them a lot through music. Music is going to be very significant here. They're going to talk about you a lot, and in terms of songs, you know, they'll be in the car with their friends and they'll be like, this song makes me think of them, and then they like play the song and it's like, oh my gosh, and they're like bumping out to it. They have all the lyrics memorized, you know. That's definitely the vibe that I'm picking up on here, and that's definitely a huge descriptor for like a bulk of what they may say about you. And I definitely do think that this, what I'm talking about right now, the songs and like the deja vu and the remembrance, I do think that this will be something that kind of takes place a little bit after you meet them, because I feel like a lot of the conversation for them is going to begin when they're like, oh, there's this person, you know, and I really want to talk to them, I want to get to know them. And then once they actually start getting to know you, they're going to, or like, you know, in the beginning they'll be like, oh, like I just met this person, you know, and they're pretty cool. But as they get to talk to you, they'll realize like, oh wow, something about this connection feels a little bit spooky, or a little bit eerie, or a little bit familiar. And then they're gonna, you know, like the music starts, and, you know, all these other things start, and they're gonna start realizing, hey, yo, there's something about this connection. Especially with the moon card here, I feel like as you guys get to know each other, more and more of the feelings will kind of bubble up so easily and so like fluidly. It's just like, what I'm saying here is that the feelings that will emerge in this person will be very clear. You know, it's like, it won't be like you feel something and you kind of have to sit there with it. It'll be like they feel it and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, like I have felt this before, or like, wow, like this feeling is just so obvious. I don't know how to explain it. It makes me think of like, I don't know how to explain it. Just a bunch of random thoughts come to my head, like when you're mining, like when you're like digging for something, and then like you take a break and then you leave, and then you like go back into like your tunnel, and like all that space is already mined, so it's just like easy to go back in, you know. Or like, I don't know, like you fill a glass up with water, and because water's like a liquid, it takes up the shape of the cup, you know. It's just like, I know those are like really weird, but like what I'm trying to say here is like, this person, the feelings for you are just gonna be so familiar, and they're just gonna be so like clear, and so like, there's like a word that I'm trying to think of, like it'll just be so like precise, and it'll just be so like obvious, and it'll be so like like, oh my gosh, I'm like trying to think of the word. It's like kind of irritating me, because there's a perfect word to describe how this person will feel about you, and how the feelings will just be so like clear, you know. And that's something they're going to talk about to their friends a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if this person goes through the same rut that I just went through, you know. They're going to have trouble explaining what it is about you, or they're going to have trouble like talking to their friends about you, because they won't know how to kind of put the feelings into words, that they won't really know how to kind of explain the connection fluidly, and as like, it'll just be a vibe. Like they'll literally just be like, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you don't, you know. It'll just be like that. It'll be as simple and plain as that. Let's pull some more cards. We also have Eight of Swords. Yes, oh my gosh. Literally, this person's gonna feel very frustrated when they're talking about you because they won't know how to describe it. They won't know how to pin it down. And I feel like in terms of the connection itself, they're gonna do a lot of overthinking. And I feel like a lot of their anxieties will come up to the surface in terms of this connection, especially because maybe they have had past situations where they thought they were onto something, or they thought that they had something, They thought that was the real thing, like Q Heart of Glass by Blondie. They just thought it was the real thing. And maybe because of that, I feel like they're going to be very apprehensive of this connection, or they're going to be a little bit hesitant, if you know what I mean. Especially with all the swords here. This person will, like, when they're talking about you, they'll try so hard to make sense of this connection. They'll try so hard to kind of explain what's going on here. They're going to try so hard to kind of explain, like, what are the motives. Like, I just keep thinking of now Motive by Ariana Grande. Just like this vibe of, like, trying to decipher somebody and their intentions, trying to decipher what this person means, why they're in their life. And we also have Six of Swords. So many swords here. I just feel like, you know what I mean? I'm sure you noticed pile 4, but I feel like I'm also just, like, going on and on and on and on. This person is just going to be racing in their mind. They're going to be talking nonstop about you, I feel. And even if they don't talk to their friends about you, I just feel like they're going to have a lot of outlets for expressing how they feel for you, or express how, like, this connection makes them feel, or how it's kind of like, like, if the shoe fits, it'll just, like, it'll be like a glass slipper moment, where everything just kind of happens so, like, perfectly, or so, like, meticulously, to a point where it feels like everything about this connection was scripted way before it even happened, because it kind of happened before it actually happened. And this is going to be a very spiritual connection. I just want to get that out of the way. I'm sure y'all already know that by now, but this will definitely be something that, like, it's like transcendence vibes here, like, girl, like, I'm talking, like, singing bowls, like, meditation, sitting crisscross applesauce, like, sunsets, grapes, and whatever else I associate with meditation and, like, peace and serenity, like cliffside sunsets, like drives at night, really long grass, I don't know, that's, like, flowing in the wind. And there's gonna be a sense of tranquility within this union too. I feel like when this person's actually with you, they're just gonna feel so calm and at peace. They're gonna just love being around you, and it'll just be so, like, peaceful and, like, beautiful. Like, when you just, like, sit down in, like, outside, I almost said in, when you sit outside and you just feel the wind blowing and that sound it makes as it's blowing past you, that feeling, that's how this person's gonna feel with you. But when they're not around you, they're gonna get very anxious, they're gonna get very nervous, they're gonna want to be around you even more. They may get a little bit clingy, or even, like, separation anxiety vibes. And I definitely do think that that's something this person's gonna talk to their friends about a lot, because they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to be away from pile 4, I want to be with them all the time, or I want to be with pile 4 again, or oh my gosh, it's gonna be a while since until we see each other again, or. And I also feel like with the Ten of Swords and Six of Swords, this person's going to be I feel like this person's perpetually going through a lot of transitions or a lot of changes in their life. And I feel like as a result, this solicits a lot of turbulence and a lot of, like, chaos in their life. A lot of, like, what's another, like, word for, like, turbulence and, like, chaos? Mayhem. I feel like I feel like their emotional life and maybe their, like, mental, like, in their head is very volatile. It's ever changing, it's very fluid, it's very hard to get a grasp of, because I feel like they're always on the go. And so as a result, I feel like this person's mind is always going to be racing. And I feel like as a result, can I say something else besides as a result? Because of cause and effect, I feel like this person is going to really take this connection for a ride. And it's really gonna, like, because I feel like when this person adds something else into their life that kind of, like, changes their feelings, or kind of, like, adds a feeling to the mix, this person just, like, they take a while to adapt to it, or they take a while before the waters kind of calm down again. It makes me think of, like, when it's raining on a lake, and, like, the lake is just, like, really crazy, and, like, like, but, like, obviously the rain replenishes some of the lake, so it's like, at first it'll be like, oh my gosh, it's, like, crazy, and, like, water moving and doing water things, but then when the rain stops, it, like, calms down again. I feel like when you meet this person and when you guys come into union, this is definitely the way that they're going to describe it, in the sense that like it's going to shake them up a little bit. They're going to get very nervous. They may even get anxious. It may trigger old wounds. It may just like make them feel some sort of way. Definitely going to talk about this to their friends. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, like pile 4 completely shook up my life. It's been a while since I felt this way about somebody, you know, or it's been a while since like, you know, I've just been around somebody, or it's been a while since, you know, just I felt this way at all, you know. And I feel like the way I'm describing how they will actually probably talk to their, you know, friends is also very, you know, vague and very like not specific. But once again, I do want to say for the record that the way this person talks and the person that you guys meet, varying on person to person watching this pile, will differ still. So that's why I'm kind of painting in broad strokes. I'm kind of sticking to the vibes and kind of sticking to like the foundation of, you know, how they will be feeling, what they may be saying. So yeah, let's pull a few more cards before we're going to wrap things up here. We also have the Hermit. We have King of Pentacles. Pisces and Virgo may be very relevant here. Just that axis, you know? And we also have 6 of Cups. Literally, oh my gosh. 6 of Cups. I just feel like I said, there's going to be a sense of familiarity. Maybe for some of you, this is somebody that you've already known for a very long time and you just felt connected to them for a very long time. This could be a past life connection, or this could be just like somebody that you have been with for a very long time in your life, or somebody that you've been with before. And I want to say, like, I'm not one to just throw around past life connection just wherever, you know. There's literally 8 billion people in this world, girl. Probably more at this point. And so I just feel like the likelihood of just randomly meeting someone, be like, oh my god, this is past life connection. But like, I just want to say, like, for some of y'all, this just might be that, you know. This just might be something that happened a really long time ago, or something that got left with unfinished business for a very long time. But yeah, talking to the more casual side of things, with the 6 of Cups and King of Pentacles, this person will have a lot of fun spending time with you. They'll definitely describe you as somebody who is very materialistically grounded, you know. I feel like they'll see you as a very logical, very pragmatic person, somebody who's very good at being organized. And I feel like you're definitely going to be somebody who brings a lot more of the fixed energy to the relationship, whether or not you have fixed in your birth chart. And I just feel like this person will feel a lot of comfort and a lot of stability and security with you. And this is definitely something that they're going to describe to their friends, you know. They're just going to be like, wow, I feel so comfortable around pile 4, you know. I love being around them. I love their vibe. I just feel like it's so easy to be around them. I feel safe, you know, and things of that nature. And with the Hermit card here, once again, I definitely do think that this person was alone for a while, or this is somebody that has struggled in past connections, or they have really struggled to meet people, or they've just really struggled to, you know, find a connection that was worth it for them. I feel like maybe because of that, if they do have like kind of like a past of being like a quote unquote Casanova, or, you know, like a womanizer, or, you know, like a playboy, or, you know, however that applies, you know, like playgirl, whatever. It's just like I said, I said this in another pile, but I do want you guys to apply like the identities as, and assign those as they resonate for you individually. Just wanted to say that because, you know. And I also feel like with the 6 of Cups here, it really does seem as if though, like, this person will feel a lot of comfort with you. It's just like this person, they're going to talk about this, definitely. They're going to love the fact that they can have comfortable silence with you. They're going to love the fact that they can just like do anything with you and it'll just be comfortable. I think I'm going to sum up your reading pile 4. I think I'm going to sum it up by saying this person, for some of you, may be a past life connection. And this person's going to talk about it a lot to their friends. They're going to be like, I swear, like I really don't want it to sound like I'm like trying to feed delusions, or I'm trying to like be like crazy tarot reader, like, you know, like third eye vibes. Genuinely, it really does seem as if though, like, this person, whether or not it is a past life connection, you know what? I feel like this person definitely is going to talk to their friends, and they themselves are going to say, like, they just might say, like, this feels like somebody I've known before, either in another life, or just somebody I've known for a very long time, even though I just met them. They're going to say that for sure. They're going to describe some of that for sure. I just know it. I know that maybe they won't say that word for word, but something of that nature, something of that vibe. They're going to love being around you. They're going to describe, and they're going to feel like they met you in their dreams first. They're going to talk about how they saw you in their dreams first. And they're also going to overthink a lot when they're not with you. But when they are with you, they're going to kind of feel a lot of this peace, you know? And it's interesting because I said Pisces and Virgo is relevant here. Whether or not you guys are those signs, I feel like Pisces is a lot of that wind blowing through your hair, you know, wind whistling in your ear vibe. And Virgo is a lot of that overthinking and a lot of that chaos, you know? And I just feel like those are kind of like the two dynamics that I'm picking up on here, whether or not that you guys embody those energies. And I just feel as if though this person is really going to talk about you in a way like they feel like you bring them a lot of peace, you bring them a lot of stability, calmness, and a familiarity that maybe that they've been craving for a very long time now and have been searching for possibly their entire life almost. So yeah, that's all I have for you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for watching. Your reading, all the readings today were beautiful. Oh my gosh. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, I do offer those in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below in the description box, just because sometimes you guys ask about it. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye.